When it comes to off-road capable SUVs that you can pick up for under 10 grand, you'd be hard pressed to beat the Jeep Cherokee XJ. Now this 2000 beside me is fit with a 4-liter inline 6 that has less than 160,000 miles on it. Even better, this specimen here doesn't have a lot of rust, and that's a big deal in southeastern North Carolina. While those are the good points, the bad points: the front end pretty much shot, suspension absolutely worn out, tires gone. Now these were all excellent negotiating factors when we found it on Craigslist and help our buddy get a pretty good deal for a few grand. The good news is there's plenty of aftermarket support so we can get this thing riding right without spending a ton of money. Now for our first installment on this build, we actually are going to be going to Low Range 4x4 in Wilmington, North Carolina, where we're going to fit this with a 3-inch advanced Rusty suspension kit. Rusty's Off-Road has been building XJ stuff as long as we've probably been alive. They know XJs better than just about anybody, and in addition to suspension kits, they make bumpers and armor and all sorts of good knickknacks. The Advanced Series kit comes with a complete replacement rear spring pack with 5 leaves. The rear springs are paired with grade 8 U-bolts, extended brake line, and Rusty's Hydro Series shocks. Another major draw of this kit is the fact that it includes upper and lower front control arms. These heavy-duty suspension members are significantly stronger over the stock arms and come fit with OEM-style rubber bushings that have proven to stand the test of time both on-road and off. Ensuring that you can properly dial in the front suspension is an adjustable track bar that attaches to the stock location. Along with the new lift springs and shocks, the front end was wrapped up with a set of Rusty's sway bar disconnect. Another optional feature was the Rusty's replacement cross member. This drops the transfer case down by 1 inch, allowing you to reuse the factory drivelines. Since the XJ's owner picked up a set of used JK wheels, a set of 1.5-inch wheel adapters were needed to ensure that you could go from the 5-on-4.5 to 5-on-5 wheel bolt pattern. These 17-inch alloys would be paired with a set of 265/70 R17 Nitto Ridge Grapplers. Once installed, the Jeep was placed on the alignment rack where the Rusty stabilizer was added, front end aligned, and final bolt check complete. On-road, it's an absolute night and day difference. Now, mostly because the suspension was so worn out on this thing when we first picked it up that it was a handful to drive. Now, the Jeep has new ball joints and complete bushings from front and rear with all new control arms. Now, the biggest thing you're going to realize about a 3-inch kit is we're at the max of what we would recommend for a short arm suspension. That being said, it drives and rides absolutely phenomenal on road. It's very easy to handle, and it's something that you could gladly and without problem drive every day. Now we will say these 32-inch Ridge Grapplers are awesome. They're very quiet, they work well on road and off, but they did rob a little bit of power. Coupled with the fact that this thing only has a 355 stock differential ratio, and you notice some of the power's gone. This inline 4-liter, it's not that big of a deal, but we will say it's something that we might want to change differential gears later up the road. The final stance is one that is both conservative and extremely functional. Since the XJ lives at a farm, it will see more mud and dirt than your average 4x4. We have found that during the more extended articulation, the tires will contact the fenders. It also doesn't help that the XJ's original bump stops are non-existent. Thankfully, we have a plan to fix both of these issues very soon. While the Jeep Wrangler Unlimited gets all of the fanfare when it comes to 4-door Jeeps, the XJ remains an affordable alternative to the JK and JL Wrangler. To keep up to date with the Jeep we've dubbed Project Recycled Green, be sure to click subscribe and visit us at drivingline.com for more details on the build.